Hello. Okay. Hopefully this works. Okay. Sorry, sometimes this works smoothly and sometimes it's not so smooth. But anyway, hello. I decided to hop on here. I meant to get on last week and the week just got away from me to talk a little bit more about meal planning and why that is important. So when I talk to a lot of women that are trying to get healthy habits into their lives and trying to lose weight. One of the questions that I ask and that we talk about a lot in coaching is about meal planning. And some people have a system that works really well, but a lot of people struggle with meal planning, especially busy moms, especially working moms. It's difficult sometimes to get this done. And there's a lot of reasons why I think it's really important to incorporate in some way into your time, and we're going to kind of talk about that. So, one of the most obvious reasons for meal planning is that you create a plan. So, the whole idea is that you're sitting down and you're looking at your week and what's going on in your week, and you're coming up with a plan for what you're going to eat throughout the week and subsequently what you'll buy at the grocery store. So, it's helpful for a number of reasons. Number one, having a plan does help you in the sense of reducing the amount of spontaneous eating that you're doing. So instead of just going to the refrigerator and saying, what are we going to eat for dinner, and nitpicking and finding different things to eat, if you have a plan, it does make it easier to stick to it. It's not, obviously, there are going to be some days that you have the plan and you're like, man, I don't feel like doing that. But it does help. And the more that you do it, the more you end up seeing the benefits of sticking to the plan and ultimately sticking to your plan. So having a plan in general is just really helpful to help reduce the amount of spontaneous snacking and eating that you're doing on things that are not within your game plan. The other thing too that I think sometimes is really helpful for moms is that we have a lot of decisions that we make throughout the day, from sun up to sundown, you're momming all day, and you have a lot of decisions that you make throughout the day. And decision fatigue is a real thing. You can feel it, when you start getting to the end of the day, especially if it's been a tough day and you've already made a lot of decisions throughout the day for your family. You can get to the point of dinner and you're like, forget this. I don't feel like thinking about this. We're just going to get something from, whatever restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And you end up maybe making not so great choices. For one, you're probably tired. You might be emotional at that point. You might be frustrated. A lot of other things start playing into that at that point, and so kind of trying to eliminate at least a decision and just following through with your plan can be really helpful. And if this is not something that you're used to doing, like if you really don't meal plan a lot right now, it's you don't have to go into it right away and say, I'm going to meal plan every single dinner for the entire week. I'm going to meal plan every single lunch. The idea is that you slowly ease your way into this. So if you've never meal planned before, or you've never really successfully done that, then you pick 1 or 2 meals for that week to try and meal plan for. Or if you really struggle with lunch or something like that, then you think through what you can have on hand that's going to make that meal easier for you. So the idea is not, if you've never done this before, it's not to jump into it and try to do it all at once, but it's to start working it into your lifestyle so that you start using that tool more and more, because it's a very helpful tool, especially for weight loss. Having a plan is really, really important, because you are more likely to stick to a plan you actually have than if you do not have one at all. The other thing too for us as moms is it saves you money. It definitely saves you money. Instead of you trying to randomly go to the store and pick up things that you think you might be able to make a meal with, it's definitely going to save you some money if you sit down and come up with these things ahead of time, and then you build a grocery list or whatever off of that. It's going to be a lot more helpful for you in the long run, and it is going to save you money. So those are some important reasons why meal planning is helpful. It also is helpful because you start creating sort of like your own menu. So as you start sorting through different dinners and different meals that are successful for your family that they like, then you kind of categorize it. You sort it off in your mind, and you can rotate through these things and rotate through the weeks. And it becomes a lot easier for you to make these things quickly, to make your lists quickly, to grocery shop quickly when you start accumulating things that you know are going to work for you. So those are kind of some general thoughts on meal planning. Again, I think I just want to encourage you to try it if you've never done a lot of it before, to start out small. So, you do one meal, two meals, something feasible for you to start with, and kind of go from there. If it's something that you've already kind of have into your routine, then good for you. Try to expand that. So I think a lot of people struggle, if you kind of have dinners pretty good, but you struggle with lunches or something like that. Sit down and try to think through some things that you can have in your house that are going to be helpful for you and your family for lunch. So hopefully this kind of gives you an idea and pushes you to try it if you've never done meal planning before, to try it and start small and see where it can fit into your life. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this as far as like tips on how to meal plan and what makes it easier for you. But I wanted to at least start with why it's important, why, especially for weight loss, planning these things is important. Sticking to your plans are important. And incorporating this more into your life is going to be really helpful. So let me know what you guys do, if you guys already do a lot of meal planning, or if there's tips and tricks or help that you want with your meal planning, because we can talk more about it, just to try and make this more successful for you guys, because it's a really helpful tool. All right, anyway, thanks for watching, guys.